Yeah, I mean, we can't.
Do you remember you as a kid?
Do I remember me as a kid? I had
Yeah.
a good childhood, man.
No, I'm talking about you as a kid.
Like, how was I?
Just you. Yeah.
I mean, I was bad in some ways. Like, every kid does things that are wrong. But I was a good kid. Like,
How many times did it take your parents to tell you to do something?
Oh, I was bad. Like, take out the trash. Like, I was a 2 or 3 timer a lot of times.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Worst kid ever.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Are you getting payback?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, it sucks for me.
What?
I was a good kid.
Yeah, and your kids are not.
Destiny wasn't.
Oh, no.
Destiny's getting the payback, and I have to live with it.
This is all your fault.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer your kids get the best of your traits and the worst of your traits.
Absolutely. And oftentimes it's like up a notch.
Yeah, they lean harder one way a little bit.
Yeah. So like they may get something really awesome. You're like, I love that they picked up this trait from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you see something else and then that you know is from you and you're like, ooh.
Oh, that's from you?
Yeah. And you make
easy to be like, oh, that's Nikki's. I'm just kidding. That's Destiny.
Hey, no lie. Me and Nikki have had that conversation. Like, that is absolutely from you.
We have done that too. Because it's just some things they stick out. You're like, yep, that's definitely me as a kid.
Yeah.
Or that's me. That's exactly how I think about something or thought or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so weird that comes from you and you don't teach them that.
It is weird, right?
It's a blood thing. Like, it's so weird.
It is something passed through your DNA. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I truly believe that there are things that you inherit from your parents that you, even from a parent you never met before. Like, say you were separated at birth.
Mm. Oh,
you
yeah.
met them 25 years old. You were established as a person by the time you're in your mid-20s as far as like what you generally believe, how you live your life, these sorts of things. And I truly believe that like you would find character traits that'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pretty wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Getting chill bumps or something?
Goosebumps over this. I haven't done that in a long time. Goosebumps over this conversation.
So as far as, oh man, I'm talking about kids again. I'm tired of talking about kids, stupid kids. Me and Cambry had the biggest run-in of her preteen teen life. Oh no. Last week.
Let's hear it.
I don't know that I want to get into it, man. I don't know that I did a poor job or not. I'm undecided on some of it. Okay.
A lot of times that's how it is. Like, you're right, but you dealt with it wrong or something.
But I tell you what, yes, exactly how it was. Like how I punished her and stuff like that. Like, or how I don't know.
Disciplined.
No, maybe.
Punishing is a bad word.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah, it is. But check it out. Afterwards, whenever I sat down with her again, after like the heated discussion and everything was over with, I used the line on her.
Really?
I did, dude.
What happened?
Dude, she loved it.
Aw.
She smiled and she's like,
I know, Dad. I know first time Dad. What is the line, Dale?
The line was, I told her, I was like, Cambry, I've never had a 12-year-old before. This is the first time for me. And I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oof. So good to be honest.
And she looked at me like, because she's like looking over. She didn't want to look at me. She's like, smiled, And I was like, I knew I had her back right there, Yeah.
Dude, that honesty, it goes so far with a kid.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's the truth.
Dude,
man.
it's so hard raising a kid, man. Like, true story. Like, this is the first time ever that I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, normally it's like, up until this point, she's 12 years old. And, it's always been a conversation. There's been, you're either in trouble, you're not in trouble, whatever. And we move on.
Yeah.
But this is the first time ever that she was like, defiant.
Dude, I'm trained in this defiancy thing.
She's like,
oh my God.
Was dug in at her heels and absolutely
stubborn goat
refused to give. And I was like, this is the first time like this. I've seen like a little flare ups of like stubborn, but not like this, man.
Yeah.
It was wild. And I'm like,
dude, those are so hard. And Sage has been so hard.
I had a So, okay, I don't want to like rat out Justin Martin, Angela Martin, and Kaylee Martin, but
I don't want to rat you out, but here's his
I'm-
social security number. Here's everything he is. This is where
he
he works.
lives
You
at
can
this
find him
address, and
here.
here's his phone number.
God.
But they will tell you that Kaylee was a strong-willed child.
Yeah.
She is. Love her for it, right? But dealing with strong-willed child, they're strong-willed.
Yeah.
Right? So I called Justin. Like, I was desperate. I'm like, Justin has more experience, that I know of. Like right away I knew, hey, raising Kaylee, he told me it was tough at times. So I called Justin. He's not answering the phone.
You're like, oh God, help.
Dude, I was like ready to drive to his house. I was going to my mom's to pick up the lawnmower. I was going to mow my yard in the lot next door. So I was going to go pick up the lawnmower, and I was almost stopped because it's on the way. I almost stopped at his house. I was that desperate to talk to somebody.
This is like 20 minutes after it happened, or is this like
right after, within like 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah. Right after, pretty much. And so I called Angela to like see where Justin was really, and I got on the phone with Angela, and I just kind of briefly gave her a rundown of what happened, the whole situation. Dude, she gave me some really good advice.
That's cool. What is it?
And I was like, what? Angela, come on, man. Well, she like basically, explained to me, she's like, Dale, she's going through becoming a young adult. So she's forming opinions. She's forming adult thoughts on what she believes and all these things. And you have to start treating her that way. Like, yes, you're the parent, final word, but you need to let her talk and you need to let her voice be heard and start having like real communication with her. Because up in this point, it's been like, oh, you don't like it?
Shut up.
Suck it up, right? You're 7 years old. Shut your mouth, or I'll knock it out of your. I'll knock all those teeth out of your mouth. Kidding. Relax.
Dell. Yeah.
But she gave me she said, hey, communication is absolutely key at this point. Why? Because right now is a pivotal point in her life where she's either you're going to lose her or you're not.
Yep.
And I'm like, dang it, dude. So I had to like reevaluate.
I want to know the conversation after that.
That's what I told you. That's whenever I went
just
back.
That part. Did you like go in depth on that? What she just told you?
No, I did. Yeah. So like I told Camber those things. I said, I understand that your life is changing right now. You're in junior high now. You're starting to make more decisions, and you're gonna have. I even told her, I was like, "Hey, you're dealing with hormones and all kinds of things."
Typical dad answer. Now listen here,
you're about to start your period, and I'm sorry about that.
Hold on, let me go put my New Balance on. Now, folks, you're gonna deal with some hormones here.
No, but that's what I said. I was like, I know you're like starting to deal with hormones that you've never, your body's changing, and I'm like, I understand that you are changing as a person.
Yeah.
And Dad wants to do a better job of communicating with you. And I want you to always be able to talk to me. So no matter what happens, no matter what it is, I will listen to you first. I'm not saying I won't correct you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to listen to you. You know what I mean? At least, and I will hear everything you have to say.
Dude, you need a freaking award right now. Yeah. High five. That's a boom high five.
Boom. Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
We high five because the podcast is not over. That's why I always hesitate.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not over. Like, what? Can't high five right now.
No, you deserve that, man. Taking information, like you said today, being open-minded, taking information and being able to apply that.
Yeah.
A big thing.
I almost cried before I had that conversation. Immediately after walking out of Cambry's bedroom.
Yeah.
I walked into the bathroom and Nikki was in there like, I don't remember what she's doing, brushing her teeth or something. Who knows?
Number one.
Number two. No.
Now we have to leave it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, D. It's staying.
And I told her, I was like, man, I wanted to cry, dude.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't remember exactly what I told Nikki, but I was like, this is the first time ever where I feel lost. You know what I mean? Like Cambry has made up her mind. I'm doing it this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I ain't changed my mind about it. And I'm like, I can't beat her to death. Because that's where I was like, man, dude, I'm like, we're talking is over. Fist or no, not fist. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. That was a joke.
Right.
But I'm like, I can't just spank her and, over and over again because, dude, she's the spanking wouldn't do it. It wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah. I've been there so many times. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And so I told Nikki, I was like, dude, I'm like heartbroken right now because I don't know what to do. And I feel like I'm losing my daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Nikki was like, Dale, she'll forget about it in like an hour. And I'm like, you don't understand. I'm the one in there having to do this.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was tough, dude. It was a tough situation.
Jeez.
But when I came back and we had that conversation, you know, dude, like, it was almost like a weight lifted off her shoulders and mine.
Yeah.
It was good.
That's what, man, if people would understand that with like disciplining your kids, like it's not just the belt, not everything. It's that conversation afterwards. Like you took the time and it took time.
Dude, no, this was over 2 days.
What do you mean?
This was like Friday, Saturday ordeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to finish this whole little segment out.
Yes.
In hopes that the next time it goes better.
That's right.
Because it's coming.
Yeah.
It may be at a different area, but it's definitely coming.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only going to, I mean, from what everybody that's raised a kid, it just gets worse all the way till 18. So it's like, what side do you want to be on? I mean, do you want to fight a war the rest of these 9 years? And I tell my kids that all the time. I'll tell them, I'm like, look, you got 9 years of me.
Yeah.
How are we going to live this? Because
Yeah.
you're going to decide ultimately. Because I'm here, like I'm going to help. I'm going to do whatever I can. But if you choose to not listen and you choose to go this way, we're going to have a long 9 years.
Yeah. I think one of the things that like Angela reminded me of, that I was like, well, you're right, was Dale, the thing that she did, like, was it right? Not really, you know, really wasn't, but it's so minor. Okay. She's like, you need to learn to pick like your battles.
Yeah.
Like what Cambry did was wrong, but you know, it just was not worth me trying to get to the point of me bending her will to the point where we were going to break our relationship over it. Right.
Yeah.
It was so minor at the end of the day. Really.
God. But when that's like the worst thing that's ever happened, you know, from the other side, you've never dealt with something until this moment. It's like in your head, you're like, if I give in now, I'm never going to get it back.
That's where I was.
The control will never be there. If she doesn't understand now that this is how this is going to have to happen, then I'm never going to get it back.
So
that control is going to be gone.
So yeah, that's exactly where I was thinking. Like I'm going to lose control and not be able to discipline my daughter anymore because she's going to absolutely not listen to me.
Yeah.
But the opposite can happen too at the same time. You can discipline so much and so strongly that then you don't have their ear anymore.
Right.
And that's more important than having the belt in your hand. Because once, especially at that age, once they start getting older, the belt loses the power.
Yeah.
It really does. She literally told me, she's like, you can spank me. I don't care. Like she was like made up her mind. Like it did not matter. She's like, she's like, I don't care if I I was like, you're grinding from your cell phone. From my cell phone.
I'm getting my cell phone back.
Yeah. Well, I grounded from everything. I was like, you ain't touching a computer. You ain't watching TV until me and you come to Jesus over this one, you know?
Like you said, looking back, you don't think it was that big a deal.
It was not worth it.
But it's fear driven of not getting that control.
Yeah, it's really what it was.
Not that you're controlling, but you know how this works. Like if you give a little bit, they'll friggin' hang themselves. Like you got to really let that rope out.
Slowly.
And I think this is where having a relationship and having time with your child leading up to that point is really important because they sometimes they jump that year of growth might be a huge maturity growth for them, and you didn't recognize it because we didn't spend time talking through that year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm saying, and I'm talking about myself, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying like I've seen huge maturity in Sage, kind of like that, where you start seeing the own opinion come in and that kind of stuff, and you're like, when did this happen? Yeah. And where did I miss it that you started thinking this way to where now it feels like it snuck up on you, but really it's been a year that you haven't really. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes and no. I mean, like, I think it's just part of them maturing as kids, dude. They're going to, as they grow, they're just going to change and they're going to do it right under our noses. Yeah. And you're going to see some of it coming and some of it you're not. I'm definitely closer to Cambry than I am with Briley. Briley's like in La La Land all the time, right? But this one caught me by surprise. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'll just tell you what she did.
All right.
She helped somebody with a question during a test.
Okay.
She gave them the answer. Got caught, and she took a 50 on the grade instead of the 90 she had, right?
Mm.
Now, where the problem came in, the issue came in, I'm like, okay, shouldn't have done that, right? Got caught for sure, right? Shouldn't done it. Where the problem came in is that she failed to see the flaw in it. She said, well, I just gave them the answer. And she's mad at the teacher, right? So she was mad at the teacher for giving her a 50, right? I'm like, no, Cambry, you got caught cheating. She's like, I didn't cheat. I gave them. I'm like, so that's where the real issue came into is like she
justified.
She was justifying her what she did, right? She's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I helped somebody else do something wrong. I'm like, okay, so if you were just the getaway driver for a bank robbery, she's like, that's not the same thing. I'd never rob a bank. I'm like, I'm trying to get you to see. You're like, we were just like,
yeah,
like, you know, it was just like at that point we were in an impasse. But that's really where it came down to is like, she truly believed she didn't do anything wrong and she would not like own it. And I'm like, what do you mean? You absolutely cheated. You know, right?
I wish that was the issues I had with my kid.
Well, it turned into other things. It escalated further, but that's where it started.
Because then disrespect comes in.
Exactly.
Really
and that's whenever like it started like, okay, she started being disrespectful to me and her mother and things like that.
Oh.
Right. She got defiant.
You go against mom in my house, it's over.
It was over.
All your voice is gone. Nah, you don't disrespect my wife. And that's my wife at that point. It's not your mom. You understand me? That's my wife.
Yeah. So things escalated quickly from there and she got in a lot of trouble. But anyways.
Have you ever stood up for Nikki and then Nikki's be like, don't do that? Like ever?
Especially dealing with the kids.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you stand up to the kids for Nikki, does she ever like, it's not that big a deal?
I can't think. Yeah. Like, I mean, even recently, like, whenever we were like Nikki was like sitting there like
you go get him, Dale.
No, I mean like at one point like Nikki was stressed out too because Cambry was so defiant.
Yeah, she's like, did she know what to do? What did she say?
No, she was just like, I'm lost.
Did you have like a breathe moment where she's like, Dale, you need to come outside and breathe for a minute?
No.
Like we need to refocus here.
No.
Dude, that's like going into a boxing corner and you're just like getting patted down. They're like, all right, get ready, champ. You're about to go back in. Round 2. Go back in there, bud. Dude, I have spent some time dealing with Sage.
Sage is she's strong-willed. She's strong-willed.
Yeah, I love her to death.
Who she mostly
but
likes.
She is Destiny.
She's
100%. Destiny will tell you too. She definitely was like that as a kid. The difference between the two of us is that I take time to go correct and really talk out. She's like, my dad would have been like, forget that. I'm out of here. Like, you ain't going to talk like that and just shut it all down.
Yeah.
Where I go and explain why this is not going to happen and this is how this is going to be. And I'll even tell her, I'll see you tomorrow because we're going to be right back in here if you don't learn from this. And sure enough, we'll be right back in there.
Well, that's where we ended, right? That's where we ended at the end of the day.
What?
She did get in trouble. She got grounded, all these things, right? But at the end of the day, it was, okay, I understand that, you know, when it all came down to it, at the end of the day, I was like, you are growing up. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear what you have to say. But when you are disrespectful, the conversation's over.
Yeah.
That's how we ended, you know. And I told, you know, all the other things I said to her.
You need to go to the gym.
Get to the gym. Right? You know, all of the things we talked about, I said to her. But at the very end, that's what we said. I was like, hey, I want to hear your voice and I want you to always talk to me. But the moment you become disrespectful to be your mom, it's over.
Yeah.
Like we're not.
It has to be that way.
Yeah.
I always tell my kids, do you want your kids acting like that? I'm serious. I'm like, hey, like, look, I do this and I demand respect for your mother.
Yeah.
Because when you're a mom, you're going to want your husband to demand respect for you. So you treat her like you're treating me.
Ultimately, Jake, like, and this comes down to the fact that I want my kids to be able to have hard conversations. Mm-hmm. That's what it really came down to. I'm like, we need to be able to understand that having a hard conversation is okay. Mm-hmm. It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. I want you to be able to look somebody in the eyes and say, hey, this was not right when you grow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And too many people do not do that now.
That's true.
Right? So having hard conversations they can't do as adults because they've never learned how to do it. It starts in your house. So if you're not teaching your kids how to have hard conversations, they go to school. They don't know how to deal with confrontation, other people's opinions, all these things because they've never had hard conversations in their home.
Yeah.
It starts at the house.
It does.
Boom. Weak men create weak children, which create weaker men, which create weaker children. It's the truth, man. Men have to stand up, dude. And we're
getting fired up about men.
Well, because we're the problem at the end of the day. I truly
And
believe
you're
that.
the solution.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on a man.
Yeah.
There really is. And I'm not saying that there's no help from women.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, dude,
yeah.
when it's done with your wife, she's like, I can't handle it. You got to take it on.
Yeah.
You take on a totally different role.
Yeah.
You really do. And that, I mean, it's intended that way. It's you're supposed to be that pillar.
Yeah. And we have to be stronger, not just because we have to be strong. Like this, it's not a masculine thing at all. It's really not. It's not a masculine thing.
Not a prideful thing.
It's not a prideful thing. It's hey, we have to be able to stand up and do the right thing. We have to be able to stand up and raise our kids to be good people.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to talk about pressure? Man, you want to, this was super weird. Whenever I was told that Hayes was a boy, I was shook.
Oh, I bet. I
got chill bumps over my entire body because and almost cried right then and there. Not because I was like, oh, I'm finally getting you a boy.
Why are you being weak? You're crying all the time.
Dude, I'm such a baby.
I'm just kidding.
Such a baby.
3 times this conversation I'm about to cry this day. I'm like, Dale, you're talking about strong men. What's up, dude? I'm just kidding.
Hey, strong men can cry.
Strong men should cry.
Yeah.
100%.
But it shook me, dude. Like straight up shook me. Not because I was like, oh, I'm having a boy and I was all worked up about it. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly why.
I felt immediate pressure.
Yep.
The weight of the world changed for me. Like, don't get me wrong, raising young women to be godly young women who stand up for themselves and are strong individuals and things, and being a good spouse and all these things is super important, right? But whenever I realized I was told I was having a boy, the weight of the world sat on my shoulders because I realized that I had to raise a man to raise a family who had to raise kids of his own.
Yep.
Woo!
And daughters and do the whole process.
Chill bumps.
You're right. 100%.
And it hit me hard. Just hit me so hard. And I'm not saying like having like the weight of having a girl is different, but in some ways
it is different.
It is different.
I don't know. I don't have a son.
Yeah,
I have
it was
Caden.
it was
It's the
different.
closest thing I have.
It was different for me. Like it's not even that like I love him more or differently.
No, you got to prepare him.
I felt like a different responsibility to prepare him to be a man.
Yeah.
And I don't want to produce another kid that just flies by the seat of his pants and becomes an adult and who becomes a father and doesn't know how to handle these situations.
Yeah.
I wanted to raise a young man who knows how to treat a woman right and to discipline his kids correctly and love them correctly. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
Dude, it would hit me hard, Jake.
Yeah, I bet it did.
It was such a weird. I mean, this is like, like she's 3 months pregnant, and I'm like already like, oh, I was terrified almost.
Dude, there's a huge responsibility in men.
It is.
And like I said, I don't want to discredit women. There's a huge responsibility for them.
Yeah.
But I do believe women do desire a man in their life ready to lead and ready to nurture and care and take care of a house. They want that in a man.
Absolutely.
And so for us to be sitting here and saying, oh, we need to create a man like that, all the women in the crowds be like, we need more men like Hayes. Give us Hayes.
I hope so.
We're the reason why women down the road are going to be like, thank God there's still a guy out here like that.
I hope one day that, some dad, is
like, I want to shake the man that raised you.
Looks at my son and says, I would let that young man date my daughter.
Yeah.
Dude, there's I'm telling you right now, the list is going to be real freaking small when it comes to the,
For our girls, we're in trouble, man. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm like, girls,
I mean,
have you ever thought about being a nun? Do you know the word celibacy? Because there's not much out there for you.
Yeah, I think that because, like I've said, men are not raising their kids to be strong individuals.
But it's both too. It's men and women are not being raised correctly right now.
But I'm talking about men out there raising young men for my daughters to date and potentially marry one day. I'm like, and everybody's like, you'll hear this like all the, every dad's like, oh, get the shotgun out, come to my house, blah, 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 blah. Nah, I'm dead serious. It has nothing to do with any of all that intimidation factor stuff. It has nothing to do with that.
You shouldn't have to intimidate a good kid.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have to intimidate.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to. You should be able.
I'm not saying you can trust every man, because you can't trust no man. Matter of fact, the ones that you're like, oh, I trust him. Don't trust him.
Don't trust him.
That's the one you don't trust.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Every kid is fighting like crazy battles.
They are.
Every single day. Mm-hmm. The temptations of life are stronger than they've ever been because of technology, social media.
Yeah.
Everything is sexualized now. So they're dealing, like the kids of today are dealing with things like we started dealing with it more as we were growing up because
we got the internet.
Right? And I'm not saying it wasn't there before, but it got tougher and tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just so hard on kids. So like, man, raising a young man in today's society, it's going to be tough, man.
And the honesty that you have to have, like this kind of stuff, when you talk about like what we're exposed to and stuff, you have to create a safe place for your kid, because a lot of times as parents we're like, you will not do this. And it's things that you've messed up in your life and you don't let them know that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because now they're living this false expectation that, oh, my parents never did this. They were perfect. They, whatever. And then if they fail, they feel miserable. That's where, as a parent, I've learned, like, no, you let your kid know, like, hey, I messed up in this area.
Yeah.
This is the damage it does for you.
Yeah.
This is where you need to really.
This is how you learn.
Yeah. Because if not, they think you're like on a pedestal way up here and they're down here. No, level with your kid, level with people around you, level with your friend and say, hey, I've dealt with this or I've gone through this. And so that's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's like there's this I don't know if you call it a paradox or not, but there's a situation that a lot of men deal with where they feel like they can't be open about things because they feel like they lose their credibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't share that because then I'll be viewed differently.
Right.
Dude, men struggle with stuff all the time that they're not willing to talk about. You know what I mean? It's tough. The world is not an easy place to live for a man either. You know
it's not, because it's set up to trap us and make us. I mean, when I say the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy your marriage and your family, he is always present for the man. Yeah. He is always there trying to destroy your marriage. Yeah. And so you got to protect that thing. And honesty across the board with your spouse and what you're dealing with and that kind of stuff has got to be talked about. It is not good for man to live alone. It's not good for man to be married and live alone mentally. He has to have that wife as support, and the wife has got to be able to take what he says, like whatever issue he has or whatever he's dealing with, and be able to support her husband through that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if not, men are they're scared. They're scared to, if they're dealing with something with with a spouse or they're dealing with a temptation, they're afraid to talk to their wife, because that's a huge can to freaking open up. Sure. Right? And so when you're open with this and you say, hey, this is the issue I have, this is the issue I'm having with your spouse, that's when you really need a supportive wife to help you and get you where you need to be. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I'm sure somebody might be out there understanding what I'm saying, but yeah. You have to honesty, same thing with your daughter. Yeah. That little honest statement turns that whole thing from he hates me. I mean, like I told you the other day, you can release somebody with forgiveness, and with honesty, you can release somebody as well. Yeah. You let them know what's actually going on. You don't hide things from your kids and your wife. You be upfront. She's a little adult. Yeah. You got to be honest with her and be like, look, we're both new to this, like you said, and now the playing field is leveled. It's not dad's way up here and I'm down here and I'm going to fight, we're going to fight. It's that we're here together and we're working this way. Yeah. That's what we want. Same thing with your spouse. We talked about that. Like, we want to be on the same level and working forward towards a goal.
That's probably the best way to put it. I really think, dude, that was good. Literally, you need to be on the same level. I've never thought of it that way. Yeah. It really is true. Like, whenever it comes to dealing with issues with your spouse or with your kids, if you're not on the same level, there's a disconnect.
I know that's something that people say too. We need to get on the same level, but you don't understand it until you like think of it.
Yeah, I've never thought of it that way with like Camry though, specifically.
Oh yeah.
Like it leveled the playing field. Like
It did.
Yeah, and and that's like that little sheepish smile she did
Yeah,
at me.
you'll always remember that too.
Yeah, it literally, now that I think about it, leveled the playing field. Hey, we're here together, working through this together. I'm trying to be a better dad and understand where you're at, and you're trying to navigate life
And be a daughter that
Yeah.
I've set this expectation for you that you've never been a daughter before.
Yeah,
You know, and that's what I was saying about your faults. Like, if your kid is dealing with a subject that you've dealt with, don't lord it over them like, you cannot do this. But you come in and you level the playing field with them. You're like, look, I've struggled in these areas. I am just as bad as you. I just want to help you get through it. Leveled, go.
Boom.
And they listen because now you're relating to them. You're not yelling at them or telling them like, this is not right.
yeah.
You know, have you ever cheated?
What do you mean, on a test?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
So
no
we're
better.
there.
Yeah.
You tell her? So, dude, I used to cheat all the time.
This is terrible. I don't want to rat Angela out. Oh, I'm gonna rat you out, Angela. She's like, Dale, I cheated all the way through high school. We helped.
Dang right.
Well, like, no, she didn't say it like that. She's like, we cheated all the time. She's like, Dale, like every kid needs help.
Yeah.
She's like, you think that like they're not sharing questions and answers?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. No, I cheated like a mother. I cheated all the time because, dude, if I didn't cheat, I wouldn't have passed. 100%.
Really?
Physics and stuff. Man,
yeah.
I loved it, but I couldn't pass the math side of it.
Interesting.
And then I'm looking back, I'm like, when do I really use that stuff? Now.
That's another funny subject.
Well, I'm sure some people use it, but
Yeah,
the
no,
majority
people do. But check this out. This leads into something funny. Like the things that we worry about in life. Okay. Young man in class today at the 8:30 class. And he had this look on his face. Like something was bothering him, you know? And I'm like, what's up, dude? And he's like, well, you know, this and that with school. And I'm like, dude, don't even stress about it. He's like, looked at me kind of funny. I was like, in a couple years, you'll never think about that test or whatever it is right here,
Yeah.
whether you pass or fail.
It's true, though.
I'm like, you'll never think about that. That grade will be long gone. I'm like, let it go, man. Do your best. Let it go.
Talk to Camry. She'll help you out. Hey, I got this girl I know. Her name's Camry. You can go ask her. She'll give you some answers.
She's got some answers. She'll help you cheat.
Hey, don't be afraid of the test. Here, I'm going to slide you a number. This is my other cell phone. You can call that.
That's her burner phone.
Jeez.
Oh, you're terrible, man. Yeah.
All in all, you know what? I'm glad it happened because then you got to use the line. You got to be on a different level and you got a lot of knowledge out of it.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I mean, it's not funny, but it is. But I told her I'm glad she got caught. I'm like, I'm glad you got caught. Reason why is I'm like, I told her, I was like, this is a good learning opportunity for you.
Did you get caught cheating?
No. No.
Like,
Did not.
ain't that sloppy?
Actually, probably. Probably. I was homeschooled. My mom was. I don't remember if I got caught or not. She probably knew that I was like cheating on something. She'd be like, I know for a fact you cheated. He's dumb anyways. Who cares?
Dell's in the mirror. He's like, do you know the answer? He's like, I don't know the answer. Do you know the answer? Oh, I don't know the answer. Oh my gosh, I don't know the answer.
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? In the mirror? Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, I did get caught cheating. I did. Actually, now that I think about it, I had to go back. I got caught cheating.
You had to go back where?
Like thinking, like in my memory.
I thought your mom's like, you're going back to the third grade. You're in the fourth.
And it was science, I think it was. I got caught with the answer book.
You went to the back of the book.
No, it was a separate book, but I got caught with the answer key.
Oof.
Yeah, Dad was not happy about it. I remember the spanking. I remember that spanking.
Golly. That's crazy.
Yeah.
My kids like cheated like 4 times already in homeschool when I was with them. I was like, can we just keep putting this book on the higher shelf? Like kept trying to hide the book.
Hilarious.
They go find it. It's like, dude, I don't know what to do here.
That's funny.
If you want to cheat, I mean, I guess it's going to be retarded like life.
Oh my god.
No, dude, honestly, I cheated a lot. So
it's kind of a weird thing because like, man, cheating is wrong. It really is.
But is it really, Dell? Look, if me and you are in the gym here and I'm like, dude, I need some help. Are you going to help me?
Yes.
Okay. When do we cheat in life other than with our marriage?
Everywhere.
Like how? We work together.
Yeah.
It's teamwork.
Yeah.
So why are we teaching them in school that they can't have teamwork? Why aren't we taking group tests?
That's exactly what Angela said to me. She's like, Dale, they need help.
It's better if we work together anyways.
Yeah. Well, this is like, I think they were doing in the middle of a test. And she
Right. I
passed
know
it.
that. But I'm saying, why are we even structuring it this way?
Oh, so you're saying.
You're smarter. But if me and you are having a conversation,
Yeah.
iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
I can help you. I'm smart in this area. You're smart in that area.
Yeah,
I can help you.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Not when you're talking to the mirror, but I can help you. Right? So they're in there.
Yeah.
And they have to be secluded by themselves. Because I hated taking tests too. I was a horrible test taker.
Yeah.
Because there's so much pressure on a test that I blank out, can't do it.
Yeah.
So if it was a group test, everybody could talk, they could debate, they could learn all these social skills that you actually use in life instead of just being tucked in a room and you have to do this by yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to do it by
I
yourself.
agree. You're right. So the system's flawed. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You already know the financial side of it. Rich dad, poor dad. Why don't they teach you about finances? They don't.
Yeah.
Why? Because they like you to be employees. They don't like business owners coming out of high school.
Oof, Jake.
They like to slave you up. We already talked about this. The government wants you to stay down in your level. They don't want you coming up.
Yeah.
God, it's silent.
You
What
just
happened
got
there?
deep on me about finances and stuff.
Yeah, help me out, dude, because I need help. I really need help, Dale.
We talked about this
Don't
before.
talk about this on air. They'll find me. All of them will find me, Dale. God.
I'm going to put your phone number out there.
Don't do
This
it.
is Jake's phone number.
Oh, no, they got the phone number. Trust me. That ain't going to do nothing for me. They got the phone number.
That's hilarious. Oh, man.
We joke about that, but that sucks, man.
Yeah. I don't know how you want me to go, where you want me to go with that. Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right.
You can talk about finances, though, if you want.
Yeah, finances are important, man. Like, do I think I have the answers for finances? I don't. I think that are like nailed down. I think that my wife is a lot better with finances than I am. Like, she's a saver, I'm a spender, and I'm thankful to have her in my life for that reason, right?
Yeah.
She literally will grill me over every penny I spend. Like, hey, I know she went to Buc-ee's and spent $3. I'm like, I was thirsty.
What do you say?
And I'm over here like, I know she went to Taco Bell 7 times this week, but I don't bring that up. Sorry about that.
Oh, goodness.
Anyways, some important things that I did learn about finances, right? One, especially as an entrepreneur, there's always money to be made. Do not be scared to go out and make money, right? So the fear of hanging on to money, like, is another illusion, right? Like, oh, once you get it, you have to like close fist, right? Got to spend money to make money. That's another one.
Yeah.
So like, especially in our world, like, you cannot get by without spending money. You got to spend it to make it. Like, you want a better product, you got to spend money to get a better product, right?
Yeah.
What would be the third one? Got another one for me?
No.
I told you 3, like, just the other day. We talked and I gave you 3 like good financial stability things. Dude, another awesome one. Number 3, this is like a savings tip. Cool. Check this out, man. This is like something like you save and you don't think about. Okay. You take off the top of everything you earn. So as soon as you get a payment from a client, as soon as you get a payment from a client, you take 1% of it, just 1%, and you put it in a separate account. Like, you never see it, right? You'd be amazed at how much money you can put away doing that. Just 1%. Yeah. And we're not talking, and like, you're like 1%, like, let's say you get $1,000. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? But if you just keep doing that, at the end of the year, you're like, dude, we saved a couple grand without like really having to like save like, and not hurt from it. Right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like, if you're serious about saving money, it hurts.
Yeah.
You know, you're
like 20% big.
Yeah. Like, if you're tithing and you're just putting away 10% or something like that, then yeah, you're like 20%, like, off the top of everything you make is gone right off the top. 10% to God, 10% to your savings. You're living off 80%, right? It can be tight. But if you're like really trying to save money, I'm talking about really trying to save money. This is like Dave Ramsey stuff. Like, you account every dollar, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's hard stuff. That's like, you know what your bills are, and you put the money in an envelope, you pay the bill.
Yeah.
And you don't touch anything else.
Are you more Dave Ramsey or more Robert Kiyosaki? Because there is a difference there. They both, I mean, they work together, but really there's kind of a separate belief system there,
I don't regularly know, honestly.
I think he's more about paying debt off than he is living a...
Ramsey's all about paying debt
Right,
off.
that's what I'm saying. He's more of that
Debt-free.
more than entrepreneurship.
Yeah, entrepreneurship is where my mind is, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So like if you get $100,000, do you pay all your debt off, or do you put that money to work to pay debt off?
I put the money to work.
That's how I would think too. But
Yeah.
there's some people that are the exact opposite, pay all the debt off. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't pay debt off. You need to pay your debt off.
Right.
Right. But I want my money to work for me.
Yeah.
So if I get something in, I don't like money to sit. Buy land.
Yeah.
Invest it somewhere. Buy cryptocurrency.
I know. I really want to do that.
I've been trying to get you to do it for months now.
It's too late now.
We're going to have a crypto talk one of these days. I'm serious.
I want one. I want to understand it better.
Dude, I'm going to bring on a guy that's going to like help you out a ton.
Do you know him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you got one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yep, I got a guy.
Cool. Where's he at?
Here in town.
Oh, cool. We'll do it this week.
Probably can.
All right.
I'm dead serious.
Do it. I don't care. Do it.
Invest, though, somewhere. You need to be investing somewhere. Make your money work for you. If it's not working for you, what are you doing with it? Your savings account, unfortunately, is not saving you a lot of money.
It's depreciating, actually. It's going down. It's inflation. It's going down.
Oh, yeah.
Your
Yeah,
savings
technically.
account does not save you money.
Don't get me wrong, you need a savings account.
But if you had $1,000 today versus $1,000 100 years from now, big difference, $1,000. So it's definitely going down.
Yeah.
Put that money somewhere else.
Put your money to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do something with it. Don't let it sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's the way. I think that's an entrepreneur.
Do you buy silver?
No.
Because I do.
Yeah, I don't have any anything with gold or silver or anything like
Really? I buy silver, or I did. And that's the thing. I did, and I bought large amounts of it, and then it never gets touched.
Yeah.
You have to go take that, convert it, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But the prices go up and vary.
Yeah.
Not huge amounts, but it's a great hedge, financial hedge. So like, that's what Robert Kiyosaki talked about was like, which is the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
He uses silver as a hedge. So he
Yes.
locks in the currency
Yes.
or the inflation amount right then with that.
Does he like buy, sell, trade, or does he buy and sell, or does he just holds it? Just holds.
He buys it. He don't sell it.
Yeah,
he
just
buys it, and he has actual quarries or whatever you call them for silver.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call them?
Yeah.
Not quarries, is it?
Yeah, I mean that's where they mine it.
Mining
Yeah,
companies.
like mines, yeah.
He'll mine out silver, but he holds it because he knows that the dollar is going to crash eventually.
Yeah.
Like when the dollar crashes, it's going to have to convert back to a currency.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people think now is going to be cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency.
So
Decentralized.
yeah, like
currencies.
dollar bill and quarters and stuff's that'll be a
Yeah.
thing of the past. But something still has to back up that money, and that's where silver and gold has always came in.
Yeah.
Every civilization that's broke the dollar or their currency or paper money,
Yeah.
it reverts back into gold, and then they start the process over again.
I mean, that's what makes me okay. So I do agree with you that like gold and silver will always hold value for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto is cool because it literally is money of the future.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's pretty impressive too. Like the way it works, like way you can transfer. I mean, it's no different. Let's be honest.
You're converting dollars into silver or something like that. But if crypto goes out, you're done, right? I mean, all that money is gone.
So it's no different than anything else. It really is. It's no different. The value of gold goes up and down every day.
Right.
Right. It really does. Like
But can the value of gold will ever go down to zero?
I don't know that it'll ever go down to zero, but it could potentially like lose its value. Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah, could.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like that's been a biblical currency forever.
Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold, silver. You got any myrrh laying around?
Dude, so check this out. We actually talked about that the other day.
Who did?
Me, Camry, and Briley, and Hayes and Nikki.
Oh, and your little Bible study?
Yeah. So I'd never thought about this. This is kind of interesting. Actually, I'll just read it to you.
Yeah,
Find something to talk about real quick while I pull it up. Basically, what it does is it broke down what each
the value of those things?
what they represented.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. So me and the girls were actually the whole family, we were in there, but we're talking about, we got this brought up because you said myrrh, and I was like, they talked about the gifts that were brought to Jesus
Yeah.
when he was like lying in the manger, in the stable. And I was like, whoa, I've never thought about this. Gold is fitting for a king. Gold reminds us that Jesus is the King of Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Incense was used in the temple. The sweet smell of incense reminds us that our prayers and worship are like sweet smells to the Lord, like a sweet smell to the Lord. Myrrh is a spice that was used when someone died. This might seem like the strangest gift at all, but it reminds us that Jesus came to the earth to die for our sins. Interesting take on that. I'd never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So it covers
was myrrh like super valuable?
they were all very valuable.
All of those incense and stuff like that.
Yeah. Pretty interesting take. I was like, what? I'd never known that or thought about it in that way. Gold fitting for a king. The incense, your worship and your prayers are like a sweet smell to God. And then the myrrh being, representing that he was going to die on the cross for our sins. I'm like, ooh,
That's
take
cool.
away the sins of the world, man.
What do the girls say?
They're like, what's the myrrh? I'm over here like, dude, this is some deep stuff, man. This is good. They're just like, Dad, can we play some more Roblox? Oh, too funny. No, they ask questions and stuff, but they don't get all of it. You know what I mean? That's a little deep for them. But it is cool, like, man, when we're doing our Bible studies at night, like them asking questions and
That's cool.
them remembering things. Like the other day we were talking about John the Baptist. And I was like, they're like, John the Baptist. And I was like, well, do you remember us talking about Zechariah?
Yeah.
Like, oh, the man who couldn't talk after the angel talked to him. I was like, yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, so it's working. Like they're learning the Bible through these like 10-minute devotionals, man. It's awesome.
Have you ever read that Elijah was John the Baptist?
No.
100%. It's in the Word.
Where did you read that?
Jesus is talking to the disciples, and they're like, something about, is that Elijah? And Jesus says, actually, Elijah has already came back. And then the next sentence states that Elijah was John the Baptist.
What?
Yes.
You're going to have to show me that one.
Yeah, I will.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah, look it up tonight.
All right. We
Look it
can
up
do that.
tonight.
All right. We can do that.
No, I'm saying like you look it up.
No, yeah. I'm saying I'll do
I'll
it.
try to look for it.
Yeah.
I want to say, obviously it's in the Gospels because he was talking.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory or something you heard.
Whole thing about it, Elijah didn't die.
No, he was
taken up.
ascended. Yeah, he ascended.
And then every man has to die eventually.
Okay, so check this out. There's also like a lot of thought that he's going to come back to Earth during the
That's what they were talking about, and that's when Jesus says,
well, he's actually come
he's
back.
already came, and he came in the
Interesting.
form of John the Baptist.
I've got to see that. I've never read that
It's
before.
cool, man. There's little secrets all in the Word that you're like, that's crazy.
I don't know about that.
Dale, why would I lie to you about it?
You wouldn't lie to me. I'm just saying. I want to see it from my own eyes.
That's fine. You Pharisee?
I don't believe.
You don't believe?
I'm kidding, dude. Relax.
Wow.
All right, where are we going, Jake? Where are we going?
Why don't we have a men's Bible study?
We need to, right?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it.
Maybe we need to.
Maybe.
Maybe there's some elementary things floating around here that need to start getting into, or the milk needs to go away and the meat needs to start coming in.
Boom.
How? Okay, that answers.
So that's
the
a
question.
great thing.
How do we change? We talked about how to change a man.
Yeah.
And that's one way we
can do it.
Yeah.
What time? 6 a.m.
4:30 a.m. I'm just kidding.
No, we had class at the time. But the only time like I could do it and people could be here for sure. Nah, that's a hard time. 6 a.m. is one time.
I got it. We'll make a podcast about being a man. I'm just kidding.
Oh, there's actually some really.
Matter of fact, this is probably where it's done at. But
You think so?
if people listen to it.
I think we should try Bible study like once a week.
Yeah, it does need to be something that we implement. Hey, that's it. That's our goal, to become better. We were talking about wanting to be better in the Word.
Yeah.
Now we've found another area that we think is lacking in men,
Yeah.
where there's weak men, there's strong men. We need to start having a Bible study.
Yeah. Where do we know that becoming a stronger man is we have to be rooted in the Word.
Yeah, it's the key.
Yeah, it's key.
Awesome.
Jake, let's wrap it up.
That's a two-parter.
That's two-parter. We're going to go 2 parts in this bad boy. We're going to cut out like 7 hours of this 2-hour conversation. We're going to be negative 5 hours.
Negative 5 hours. Have to redo this.
Oh, let's wrap it up, dude. That was good.
Cool.
I like that ending.
Yeah, I don't know how we split it up in the middle, but
We'll figure it out.
all right. See ya.